Well, today we come to the conclusion of our Sunday series on sacred abundance, which is the title of a book written by Unity minister Robin Ryder. And so just to take us on a little memory trip here, we began with an understanding that sacred abundance is really spiritual abundance, for everything begins within. The word abundance certainly means plentiful or ample quantity of something. It could mean money, but it doesn't necessarily mean money. And once we put the word sacred in front of abundance, we come to our real fortune, which is divine ideas. Spiritual sacred abundance is our inner divine ideas that come directly from the one source of all. Those divine ideas are found within and have infinite capacity of expansion when held in mind, affirmed, and appreciated. So sacred abundance is a recognition that there is one source and one power, and from this invisible source comes an unlimited supply when we hold its origin in the spiritual. So we begin this first sacred abundance step, focusing on setting our priorities with divine guidance and gratitude. Every day, hopefully, we spend some time in communion with the divine, and we set our priorities. How will I greet and interact with this wonderful day before me? We then discussed what happens when somebody bumps into you and spills whatever is in your cup, right? We got to see this as a metaphor. When we are triggered, when we're bumped into, okay, what spills out? Is it love and kindness, compassion, or is it impatience, blaming, anger? This is the day. All these days are the days that spiritual has made. And this is the day when you can be set free through grace and mercy to yourself, and then extending it to others. Well, then we discovered spiritual Windex, right? Remember that? Spiritual Windex. And that spiritual Windex is a conscious act or practice that is meant to bring us back to our light, which can lighten our load. Each time we pause and breathe and go within, the glass gets cleaner. Spiritual Windex can also be when we spend time with like-minded spiritual community, or attending a prayer group, reading a positive spiritual book, practicing self-care, and even holding others in prayer. All of these and many, many other spiritual-focused applications will heal and clear away the glass of our soul, so our inner light just shines brighter. And last Sunday, Lee shared how her acts of kindness, even small, unnoticed ones, can help us share our inner light and perhaps encourage others to share their light. We need all of our lights to shine brightly and unhindered. And as we do, we lighten our load, feel less overwhelmed, and live a life of sacred abundance. And now we come to this Sunday. This Sunday we'll focus on possibility thinking. Not positive thinking, possibility thinking. And lots of people talk about possibility thinking, but what is it? Well, possibility thinking is the willingness to see possibilities everywhere instead of limitations. Possibility is the ability to conceive of what does not exist but could become real. Even the Bible tells us, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Jesus certainly practiced possibility thinking. All things are possible for one who believes. And very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will even do greater things than these. And here's my all-time favorite. Alice laughed. There's no use trying. One can't believe impossible things. And the queen replied, I dare say you haven't had much practice. When I was your age, I always did it for a half an hour a day. Why, sometimes I believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. Of course, this is from Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And of course, what about that song we just heard? Pure imagination. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do, do it. Want to change the world? Nothing to it. And while we certainly know that not everything we can imagine is always possible in our lifetime, but perhaps one day it will be. So I want you to think back. I made a whole list here in case you guys don't have any ideas. Think back to when you were growing up. What things right now exist that didn't exist when you were growing up? Or we could even say 20 years ago. Okay? So who has any ideas? Wants to throw up? Say? The internet, absolutely. What else? Cell phones, smartphones. We don't even call them cell phones. Smartphones. You know, now they do everything, right? They help us get someplace. They take photographs, you know, and we can get online. We get to the internet. We could send emails. We could send text messages. It's amazing. What else? Artificial intelligence, absolutely. What else? Video calls, right. Bonnie? Pardon me? Yes, how about that? That was the first job I got fired from. Okay, we won't talk about that. What else? Zoom, right. Boy, we've been Zooming. We all discovered that. Joanne? Plastic bags. Yeah, some of these things aren't always great things that we didn't have, but they're microwave ovens. Yeah, I would be lost without that. Pardon me? Yes, yeah. Some of us did not have TVs, right? Michelle? Polyester. Kat? Cure for some diseases, right? Some things were considered, you know, a death notice when you got things, and now we have vaccinations for them. We have all kinds of things. So, what else? Anybody have? Mark?
In vitro fertilization.
Right. In vitro fertilization. Right. Joanne? Touch-tone phones, yeah. Or we have the your phone is able to know who you are just by your taking a picture of you, right? I don't even know how that works. I don't know anything about how half these things work. Yes? Uber, right. How about that? That this calling, what is it calling? Hail rides. Uber, right. Yes, all these health supplements that are just, they're not considered weird anymore. They just are wonderful. Joanne?
Daytime television.
Yes, there we go. Daytime television, I love it.
Nutrition labeling.
Nutrition labeling, absolutely. And what about online banking? Yeah. Pardon me? Seedless watermelon. I love that one. No, that's not on my list, but that's wonderful. Seat belts, exactly. And what about consumer DNA? You know, like 23andMe? Yeah, that's amazing. And so apparently there are a lot of people who have been doing possibility thinking. You know, and they conceived of something, and it was like, oh, you're crazy, that'll never happen. We all, well, I wouldn't say we all. I mean, I watched Star Trek, and I love those little things that they had, and they were on their arms and all this, and talking, and we thought, oh, that'll never happen, and we do, Apple Watch, right? So we have, all those things that at one time seemed impossible have now turned into possibility thinking. So luckily, we had a lot of people who ventured in to possibility thinking. I even have a good friend of mine who, before company came, he had wooden floors, and he would put socks on and go around the wooden floors, picking up all the dog hair and everything. And then, of course, Swifter came out, and he was like, all right, I'm going to go back up here. So possibility thinking can widen and expand our vision of what is possible. Some people call the results of possibility thinking miracles, but not Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore. No, he did not believe in miracles. Here's what Mr. Fillmore wrote. In reality, miracles are events that take place as a result of the operation of a higher and sometimes unknown law. All true action is governed by law, spiritual law. Nothing just happens. All happenings are the result of cause and can be explained under the law of cause and effect. So now, to our faith, we can add understanding, spiritual understanding of the law, and our achievements, all these wonderful things, can truly be the fulfillment of Jesus' promise. He that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do. Now, did anyone ever hear of the bumblebee principle? Okay. It was years ago, last century. There were people who said, it makes no sense that the bumblebee can fly. Got this big fat body, these little tiny wings, and it defies all the laws of aerodynamics, and it shouldn't be flying. It's a miracle. And they often use the bumblebee. Well, if the bumblebee can do it, certainly you can do. Okay? So it was often used like that. So they believed, of course, that the way that the bumblebee was constructed just violated every known principle of aerodynamics. But many years later, scientists figured out how the bumblebee was able to fly. Bumblebees use a complex combination of wing movements, including bending and twisting, to generate that lift. They create vortices along the leading edge of their wings, which helps to reduce air pressure and increased lift. Those vortices are dynamic, meaning that they change shape and position as the wings move, allowing for continuous lift generation. So bumblebees practice possibility thinking every day. And so I hope every time that you see a bumblebee, you will think about that, how there was a time when, oh my goodness, this must be a miracle. And then later we discovered how it does work. So it's not about so much doing the impossible, but instead doing what may become eventually understandable or commonplace. Possibility thinking is the willingness to see possibilities everywhere instead of limitation. Possibility thinking is the ability to conceive of what does not yet exist but could. So it's not about imagining what is not yet seen, but also about creating a path to it. mean, somebody could have just been sitting around all day, like my friend with the socks, thinking this is how I'm cleaning the floor. But somebody created a path to make that happen. And then they got swifter, right? So this type of thinking requires us to stay open to a wide range of options. That means not rejecting ideas, even if they seem strange, but instead staying open, even after the first so-called solution. So you have a problem, you're thinking this, and you go, oh, I know what I'll do. That's the first solution, let's do it. Sometimes I say, I don't know, let's just wait. Let's just wait and see if something else bubbles up. And sometimes that instinct really serves us. Certainly you might have heard of this question. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Right? Or this one. If you can dream it, you can do it. Neither of these statements have rooms for ideas of lack. But they do give a lot of space to sacred abundance. So when I retire, and I don't, whenever that is, when I retire, I want to spend a month or more living in Italy. To me, this seemed like a reasonable idea. But then this is what I've heard. Oh, you'll be too old. People will take advantage of a little old lady like you. You don't know the language. It won't be safe. You'll be lonely, and on and on and on. Well, I still am employing possibility thinking. And yes, I am learning the language. That's creating the path to that heart desire, to that possibility thinking becoming live. I'm open and receptive, and I am in the realm of possibility thinking. Now, I do have a much more difficult desire of my heart that does require a lot of possibility thinking, and I'm going to ask all of you to join me in it. Using my strong faith in the spiritual power of love and possibility thinking certainly allows me to see possibilities everywhere instead of lack. And that possibility I'm holding is that there is peace among all Americans with differing ideas. That we can have peace even though we all don't agree. That's my desire of the heart, and that's possibility thinking. What does that require? Well, it requires when I'm looking, I'm not looking for the lack of that. I'm looking for the proof of that. So often we go, oh, did you see that? Ugh, this country's going, it's not going. We're never going to be one. Look at what so-and-so did. Look at what so-and-so said. And so we get all wrapped up in that, not all wrapped up in using this wonderful force of possibility thinking and seeing the positive, seeing those places when we can come together, or we can just accept each other as we are. So this possibility thinking is helping me to conceive of a love of several expanding into the love of many. And I'm not attached to how or when that particular possibility thinking becomes reality. Maybe it'll be in my lifetime, maybe it won't. But I'm still holding that. So how about all of you joining me? And if yes, we do need to take little steps now so we can someday swim in the sacred abundance of peace and love for everyone. So, anybody willing to join me on that possibility thinking crusade? Yes? Yes. All right, let's do it. Let's give it a try. Namaste.
right. So now we have now reached the time in our service when we like to form a something and sing together our Unity Peace song. So why don't we start here in the front by me, and then make your something. Possibility. Circle, line, arch, thing. Make sense? All right. Okay, looks like we're almost there. So, holding hands is optional. Let's take a deep breath and sing our Unity Peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Sounds familiar. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
If you wish to remain standing in the circle, please do so for our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Please take your seats. As Reverend Christine extinguishes the Christ candle, we remember and affirm that the Christ light within us can never be dimmed, for we are always one with the divine.
Well, thank you to everyone who helped with today's service, certainly and especially our prayer chaplains for holding us all in sacred prayer. And we have a prayer chaplain here today to pray with us. And so, Deborah, do you want to? There she is. So if you would like to have one-on-one prayer, Deborah will be up here, and she will be happy to pray with you. And if you come up and she's already praying with somebody, just sit on the other side of where she is on the front pew, and that way she'll know that you're waiting for one-on-one prayer. You can also fill out a prayer request that's in the pocket in front where you're sitting. Fill that out and put it in the prayer box that's on the candle prayer table in the back of the sanctuary. And certainly, if you're online, all you need to do is email your prayer request, and you just email it to prayerrequest@unityhartford.org. The prayer request will also go in the prayer box, and our prayer chaplains are honored to pray with you. So thank you for allowing us to pray with you. Now, there are many others who helped with today's service. One, and we're just going to hold our applause to the end. Today's worship assistant is Rob. Our hospitality team, which today is led by everyone. We're all jumping in and doing it. Thank you to everyone who helped set up already. Certainly, if anyone can stay and help clean up, that would be great. Our tech team, which is Michael and Jim, Julie, and Tony. Our setup team, the wonderful Leah Bell. Our greeters, and that is Lois and Lee. Our ushers, Deborah and Bob. And our choir, Liston, Wendy, Rob, and, no, not Tony this time. Liston, Wendy, Rob, and Deborah. So, here we go. Thank you to all of you. And so if this is your first time here, we certainly welcome you. There's a packet of information for you on the high top table in the atrium. And if you're watching online and you'd like to receive that guest package, just email us to officemgr@unityhartford.org. Make sure in that email that you include your mailing address, and we'll get that packet right in the mail to you. So whether you're here in the sanctuary or online, thank you for being with us and for bringing the blessing that is you. Now, after our closing song, we're going to have a little thank you for Carolyn. So don't go running out of the sanctuary thinking we're all done, because we won't be. Okay. So, Carolyn, what's our last song today?
The last song today is Over the Rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow way, up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. And the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Where troubles melt like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. If happy little bluebird the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Waiting for.
Yeah.
Come on up
Okay.
here, girl. So Carolyn has been with us, I'd say, almost 11 years, right? And has gone through 3 ministers. God bless her. Yeah. Come on over. It's not gonna. Nothing horrible will happen. and we've been through COVID together. Every Sunday, we were here in this sanctuary. And Carolyn sat over there. We said we all had our mask on and everything. And Deborah joined us, and then eventually Tony joined us. And we were here every Sunday. Yeah, we were. It might have been painful to watch us in those few initial weeks. Yeah, with the iPad. You know. Yes, look at us now, you know, all these wonderful cameras and everything. And then, of course, we had the arson, and we had to be a church in a box, you know, roaming around. And where are we going this week? And you got through all of that with us. And I think, you know, we all so love your voice. We so love your skilled piano playing. We so love how you interact with the choir. And I think all of that just really demonstrates to me anyway, and I know to many others, your wonderful compassion and kindness, right, at the very soul of who you are. And so I know it's not a stretch, even in the face of some craziness, for you to be compassionate. And we so appreciate that about you. So I want to, of course, hand you some flowers, because we always have to have flowers. So flowers for you. And, you know, we have this tradition in our 10-10 pray-in, right, where we call out and we say, I am a blessing, right? So now, here's what you need to know. Carolyn is a member. So she will come through that door sometimes. And the door's always open, the parade's always ready for you. And so come in, and I know she will be back. And she'll be able just to relax and be here. And so she might not hear this every Sunday, but I want her to know that she is a blessing. So this is, you are a blessing. And just hang this where you can remember that. No matter what happens on your wonderful life and spiritual journey, just know that you are a blessing. And there's a lot of people who believe that about you. Okay. Yes, applaud is good. And so, we also have some cake and cupcakes in the community room afterwards, right? But I want us all to stand and to give the unity blessing to Carolyn. Of course, it's love, bless, appreciate, and behold. Okay? So just soak it in. Together, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. And so it is.